Hello friends and colleagues, I'm Stanislav Chernonog, the author and creator of the online school Vector Massage and Somatics, and today I will show you a session of footwork. This session will primarily focus on beauty, but along the way we will tackle some health issues. My current model is my student, so I'll be interested in sharing the details that she can use with her clients. So firstly, we will start work with the palpation phase. In order for us to understand the condition of the body, we will have to look at the situation here. Here I see, for example, a distinct pelvic tilt in this case. And it is this pelvic tilt that to some extent determines what happens to my model. Look, here the model reacts on one side, practically does not react on the other side. There will be a lot of really interesting stuff. In order to work normally with the legs, we will first of all have to work with the buttocks and with the sacrum, with the sacroiliac joints, with the ligaments of the sacrum. This is the first and necessary action when we work on the legs. I draw your attention to the fact that the pain on different sides is very different. It is worth remembering that there are combinations between the gluteus maximus on one side and the gluteus medius on the other side. Nothing like that happens here. Everything is much softer. It is very important that we work the gluteus maximus on one side and the gluteus medius on the other side. It is very important that we control the level of pain in such a way that it is comfortable for the patient. If we choose a level of pain that seems excessive to the patient, then we do more harm than good. After we have worked with the gluteus maximus, it is very logical to work with the lateral surface of the thigh. The fact is that the gluteus maximus muscle passes into the wide fascia of the thigh, and accordingly at the moment when we have a pelvic tilt in this direction it moves, well, not very much in this direction. When there is a pelvic skew, this pelvic skew will be due to the fact that the body will compensate for this skew through the uneven tension of the lateral surfaces. It is very important that we work with different techniques. Please note that despite the fact that I work for the camera, I still monitor the ergonomics of my condition. A huge number of people cripple themselves in an irreparable way due to the fact that they stand incorrectly, the load is distributed wrong, they work incorrectly, for example exclusively with their hands, and don't involve their legs in the work. It is always very sad when good specialists trade their health for money. The next phase is work with the inner thigh, the back of the thigh. Pay attention, here we have a lack of tone on the inner thigh and we can notice the space under the buttock and notice the space on the inner thigh. It is very important that it is not painful. It's good when you constantly go from one place to another, regularly returning to those places that you have previously worked on. Here is a very curious moment in my model. It is connected with the fact that the condition of the gluteal muscles is excellent, and at the same time, if we talk about subcutaneous fatty tissue, then not everything is good there. Here are these specific, probably painful sensations, as if I were pinching. I am actually I do this in order to tone up the condition of the subcutaneous fatty tissue and thus improve how cellulite looks visually and in general how visually beautiful the condition of the skin is. Notice that there is spasm in the ilium here. Again, it is associated with a skew in the pelvis. Here we can observe more stretch marks on the left side, on the right side not that much. And we see a distinct soreness along the ilium at the point of arrival of the quadratus lumborum. Yes? Did I get it? On the other side, everything will be much easier. Please note that on the other hand, everything is much simpler. Here it would be nice to work with a square loin. I draw your attention to the fact that I work quite decisively, and I hope that this will not be taken as a literal instruction because I have 25 years of experience and I have a very clear idea of what I am doing. Stanislav, our model, is quite fit, but at the same time you say that not everything is okay with her body. Why? You need to understand that our model, despite the fact that she is in good physical shape, is an adult and a woman who has given birth. I must say that about 10,000 years ago she most likely would have already been dead, due to the fact that she would have already been a very old woman. Nevertheless, she is a young, beautiful woman. This is due to the fact that civilization is moving forward and we are learning to live in our body much longer. But this doesn't mean that we're absolutely healthy, and the goal of modern humans is to learn how to live in the body that nature has given us longer and more prosperously. Exactly for this we need a massage, in order to teach the body of a person who comes to us how to live happily inside this body. I want to do the same for the other leg. I must say that the legs are different. The zone on the inner surface on the left is much worse than the zone on the inner surface on the right. Please note that I am constantly moving around the couch. This is due to the fact that at the moment when we put a load on the human body in one place, the body needs some time to absorb this load. If we want to give a big load, we need to do the movement with breaks. And this is due to the fact that if I work on one side for a long time, then this will lead me to the fact that I will get tired and creep on my body. And here is an interesting story about the work on the back surface. If you watched our videos on varicose veins, then you may see problems with this model on the back of the thigh. They are connected with the fact that she has problems in the buttocks. The buttock does not work. Therefore, the body excessively strains the back of the thigh and thus leads, for example, to the occurrence of varicose veins. And by relaxing the space between the muscles of the back of the thigh, the biceps of the thigh on one side on the outside and the semimembranosus semitendinosus on the other side, we restore the normal functioning of the gluteus maximus, improve blood circulation, venous outflow, and in the process improve the condition of the subcutaneous fatty tissue along the back of the thigh. And now we will ask our model to roll over to the back surface. And at this time I will tell you that what I am showing you now contains a huge number of single techniques. And what nuances did we talk about that should have been noticed? Well, for example, I worked with the lymph nodes for some time before massage. Also, I changed the angle of the pelvis and we worked with the breath in the process. In addition, a very important thing is the work in the direction of the hand, the direction in which I worked. This is a story that is connected specifically with this patient. As always, I remind you that I will now show massage movements, and a separate stage is work with the lymphatic system, which is mandatory in many cases. Speaking about the condition of the inguinal lymph nodes, in the case of my patient, they are rather prosperous. Here I'm more concerned about the state of the intestines. I shift the bowel somewhat medially upward and shift the bowel medially upward on the other side. This is a place that needs to be explored. It is here that we can feel how the state of the middle of the abdomen, the state of the abdominal aorta, affects the state of all lower limbs. It is the relaxation of the lower abdomen, the space where the small intestine connects to the large intestine, that is the priority to look at. I will do this work without cameras, and now we will work with the anterior surface of the thigh. The interesting thing here is the condition of the knees. The tone of the knees is insufficient. When our model is standing, the knees go down. We don't want this. In addition, the anterior surface of the thigh, please note that the tone is clearly not enough. And a curious moment, there is a distinct soreness in the lateral surface here. This is due to the fact that, I repeat once again, our lateral and back surfaces are associated with the state of the buttocks on the opposite side, and here it is very important to balance the pelvis so that the body at the level of soft tissues correctly fulfills those situations that are associated with the skeleton. However, now it has here, it's good here, yes. Now we have checked the condition of the tension of the visceral tissues. In this case, you need to work in an upward direction, and on the opposite side you need to work downward. No? Now let's decide where we need to work. That's where we need to work, right here. Never work through pain. Pain can be short-term, but you can always find the best way to work with a person. We are not sadists. We do not torture the client for the sake of one's happiness. This is one of the most enjoyable movements. Patients love it very much. We're slowly coming to an end. It is connected with the fact that we shift the deep fascia, separate the various layers of tissue, and this is very beneficial for the body. And so the body gives us endorphins to reinforce our correct actions. Well, in conclusion, I want to say that if we did such massage about once a week, then our model would be much less nervous, would be much calmer, look more beautiful and healthier, and would live an additional 10 years. And this is where we end. I'm ending this session using, for example, now the parsing technique, when I can finally relax the body and bring out its state of integrity and harmony. This is also one of the techniques that patients really like. As always, there are pitfalls. In order not to miss the details, stay with us on the channel of Vector Massage and Somatics, a channel where we teach you how to massage, enjoy it and earn money from it. And as always, Stanislav Chernonog was with you. See you again, friends. Goodbye.